refused to surrender powers when his posse was left with 0 hours. Speaking of Alex III, I thought it was a tad absurd that he killed people by saying one word. Poor Nikki was left on the back street, almost like Alexandra was running the track meet. She was the one jumping hurdles and he was watching the Ninja Turtles. Czar Nicholas II, what a fool. Listen to the peasants, he thought quite unpleasant. He was always ignored like a blonde at the computer store. He was a Romanov, had 4 daughters, 1 son. You know what? Just kidding, I'm done.
Oh! What now?
Yes, sir.
The Russian Revolution of 1905, where 200 people wanted to survive, the workers of St. Petersburg wanted change. Therefore, a march to Tsar was arranged. Workers wanted a better work condition, a right to form labor unions, have personal freedom, or maybe be part of the politician. The workers wanted to explain the hardship of their life and wanted to become larger than life. You see, Tsar Nicholas II wasn't there. The armed guards were so scared, so they fired and killed 500 to 1,000 innocent people. The killing of the workers was known as Bloody Sunday. Bloody, all the people who heard about this wasn't okay. The death of these workers should be paid. The people in Russia started the revolution of 1905, strikes, shouts, rise and rise. In October of 1905, all industry was eventually shut down. This led the economy to break down. Bloody Sunday caused thousands of trusted Tsar. He was no longer an all-star that was waiting up to, but a falling star. However, the revolution changed man's rights to peasants. They can now have a fighting change. They can have the right to speech, assembly, and press. What great progress.
Man, I'm bored. Yeah, we should do something. Let's go bowling.
Let's go laser tagging.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Where's Memo? I'm serious. They're going really fast. Hey, where's Memo? I don't know.
Where'd it go?
Oh, Memo.
Guys, I'm right here. The Treaty of Brest-Litovsk was a peace treaty that made Russia exit from World War I. Germany and Austria-Hungary intended to determine the future fate of the territories. However, Russia had to give the Ottoman Empire on lands they took from the Russia-Turkish War. On August 27, 1981, Berlin signed a follow-up treaty required Russia to pay 6 billion marks in war reparations to Germany. The treaty only lasted 8.5 months. Germany renounced the treaty and broke diplomatic relations with Russia. Rasputin was born in Siberia in 1989. Then in 1901, he left his home and went to St. Petersburg, where he gained a reputation as a holy man with healing and protective power. But one day in Siberia, when he heard reports of Alexei's illness, he suffered from hemophilia, which was descended from Alexei's great-grandmother. When he was on vacation, he fell off a horse and suffered from internal bleeding. For days, and they looked for help and found Rasputin. He possessed the ability to heal through prayer. So every time the boy had external bleeding, they called on Rasputin. December 16, 1916, Rasputin went to a palace where they gave him a cup of wine with massive amount of dynamite. They shot him 3 times on the back. He fell and they noticed he was still alive, so they wrapped his body in a sheet and threw him in the river and died.
Yo, I'm feeling this for 1870, so I was born. Vladimir Lenin made Russia to turn. The starter of the Russian Revolution, who caused a free confusion to the Russian Constitution. He loved the communism, the creator of Leninism. He denounced the provisional government and he brought it to an end. Some people didn't like it. The Reds and the Whites started to fight, day by day, night by night. The Reds have won, a new government was on, and the communism started to flow. Lenin was now on the throne, but then he was gone. Stalin took his place, and then he was embraced. When the revolution broke out in 1917, Alexander Kerensky was in. Yeah, first minister of the provisional government who brought it to an end. Elected by the Russian Congress, they thought that he was the best. The son of a headmaster was born. The Condestada, he will make Russia to turn. But when Lenin arrived, everyone got shy. He fought against the Red, and everything went down. Until Lenin had the crown. By 1870, Alex was all gone.
Listen to Chloe. It was February 10th, 1904. September 5th was a conflict of war. The Russians and the Japanese Empire were fighting over the Manchurian and Korean lifestyle. Theater of operations was Crazy Me. It took place in Korea, Japan, and Yellow Sea. Then, all of a sudden, these Russians come in, trying to mess with what's happening. They want warm water and to train immensely, but the Japanese said, no sirree, and placed war upon him. Yup, that's how the Japs pawned them. The Japanese had altered the balance of power, which made the Russians get louder. The reassessment of Japanese is news to me. Russians are so embarrassed that they had to make it a revolution to scare us. Yeah!
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide, gonna find you and take it slowly. Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide, gonna find you and make you want me.
The Reds had controlled many different places, like Moscow and Petrograd and many different bases. They were on top of the world till they found themselves in a bit of a swirl. They were summoned by the whites and their hustle horses, which made them run on their horses. The Reds whipped back and planned an attack, but they were late. The whites stepped to the plate. The Reds weren't having it, they reattacked, because the whites had formed a big fight. The general of the whites is Kolchak. The whites were anti-Bolshevik. The Reds were living the good life with war communism, keeping them supplied. They banned private trade. Everyone got paid.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide.
Always makes sense to you right now.
Czechia. December 20, 1917. Czechia was founded and constantly reconvened. They eliminated opposition, preposition, recognition, established a foundation of Joseph Stalin's harsh aggression without mercy, no sparing of Czechist words. How are they different from a murderer's words? They spill clean blood. Czechists were legit. Many died for crimes that they didn't commit. The USSR took it all away. Citizens' rights, freedoms day by day. Communism was failing, Stalin's plans were failing, people's lives were failing, people's lives were failing. To prove economy, capitalism was allowed. Only for economy, only for economy. The plan was called the NEP, the New Economic Policy. It prevented revolt and the economy improved, but capitalism will be later removed.
Let's get it. Alright, stop. Stalin's here. Listen, he was a poser from the beginning, born in the Republic of Georgia, forced to learn Russian and learn about the Lord, yeah. Then he read some Marxian, changed his ways, go to school within a day. Then he became a propagandist, about exiled 7 times to Stalin. Wife lasted wrong. She killed herself when she realized he was wrong. Secretary to the Communist Party, appointed by Lenin, because the Red was entirety. Lenin then realized that Stalin's crazy, but he just didn't know he's not lazy. He's willing to do anything, yo, he'll solve it. Just killed Leon and took all of it. Power, power, baby. Stalin wants power, power, baby. Stalin wants power, power, baby. Stalin wants power, power, baby. Stalin wants. Now that he's in charge, he created a 5-year plan which started citizens to the point of death. Stalin worked them hard so they couldn't rest. Collected farms and took their crops. If they disagreed, sent them to logs and killed about 10 million people. He was unusual. He murdered so many. Yo!
Look,
in die Tatzen, wer wird Tatzen mich schatzen? Oi, oi, Gott ist größer, hat doch gewinnt mein Häuser, die mir sind gegeben, Häuser, wir sind ausgegeben, wir sind ausgegeben. Starker Freuch, ich die Malke, du der Melech. Oi, oi, ich allein hoch mit meinen Augen gesehen, die Gott hat mir mazeliert, die Wände, wir sind ausgegeben, wir sind ausgegeben. Motor schimmen, or mir leid seinen gekommen, greit verseh dem schönsten Tisch, Teiere weinen, Teiere.